Hi, Hallowed. I made it on time. I made it on time this time. Anyways, hello everyone. Felix Valenti here, and I don't know how to start this. In all honesty, I have no. I genuinely do not know how to start. I don't know where to start exactly with like. Let me lower the volume of the. Let me lower that volume. I because okay. To make it absolutely to make it clear, to make it maybe American Swing wasn't the best starter soundtrack to pick. The Fallout Show's track, that's where you start. Well, yeah, in okay. 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 So
Your word is
oh
formaldehyde.
damn it. Damn it, it's this fucking I love smoking, I love big tobacco. Shut up. Anyways, there we go. Um so a while ago, I decided to, well, inspired by Lumi, who is a VTuber I follow, a hot lemon lady from Face Connect, the lemon hoe. Hold on, let me see if I can pull up the original. You can just see me in. Oh, oh, the, this was, yeah, I was inspired from. Anyways, so this was, a while ago, several months ago, I reacted to the release of the Fallout trailer, which was from like I was already interested in Fallout at the time, but since VTubers were getting involved, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do a trailer reaction. And to say the least, I wasn't entirely impressed, but I had hopes. I had actual hopes for this show. And to say now, everyone's gonna be asking, "Did you watch the show?" Oh, you didn't watch The Boys. How do we know if you didn't watch the show? That's right, I didn't watch the show either because I found out about it. I found out how much of a catastrophe it was after, just I found out how much of a catastrophe everything was, and I wasn't about to watch it. I considered several times maybe I should pirate it. Maybe I should do an Amazon Prime free trial so I can binge it. But after just like hearing everything that came out of it, I do not want it. I do not want to watch this in a serious manner with a 50-foot. Like, I don't want to come near it at all. This show is a disgrace. I was a doomer from the start. Amazon has never done anything good. Like, I thought I had hopes because, like, you know, it's gonna be like Nuka Break, but with a bigger budget, because I really love Nuka Break, and I think it's a really good Fallout series, like a Fallout fan series, despite it being, like, made on a $0 budget. But it's gonna be like Nuka Break, but it's like a higher budget. It has potential. It can't be all that bad. It was all that bad. It was I thought it would be like, ooh, generic, like, hit the Fallout thing. It was not it was not simply like, it would have been mid if it was a generic. This is Fallout thing. And the problem started rolling in when, like, it was revealed this is gonna be set on the West Coast. Where's the NCR? Where's the Legion? Why is the Brotherhood the main focus? Why are the Brotherhood the Brotherhood was losing the war against the fucking NCR? Why do they have a they confirmed in the show that the airship, that the Zeppelin was the fucking Pridwin. Now, I'm not against the idea of the Pridwin because I think it was cool. I thought it was a really cool idea in Fallout 4. It doesn't, like, no, no. I don't want to get too nitpicky because this is like a nitpick, but just no. It doesn't. Nuka Break Nuka Break creators shilled the show, so I was so bad I lost all respect in them. I've only been keeping up with Zach Finfrock, and like I'm still interested in watching Fallout Breaking because the production quality looks really good. I didn't see too much like like Fallout from Nuka Break shilling the show because I don't follow Tybee Diskin or her brother who plays the ranger. I don't follow like those guys. I follow only Zach Finfrock, and I didn't hear too much like, "Ooh, go watch the show, go watch the show, go watch the show" from him, because he's busy doing his own project and making what is likely going to be a far better Fallout TV show. But to say the least, hold on. Well, I'm gonna put this back. We're gonna go back to the Mojave Outpost for this one because I need to continue ranting. Now, there's something I wanted to get out of the way, and it is simply that I know I always say like, "Ooh, I don't want to get political," despite me getting pretty political on Twitter. Sometimes I try to hold my tongue, but sometimes I can't. Um. Oh, what the hell is this? What the hell is that? No, no, no. What? Skip that ad. I forgot my playlist of Fallout songs have ads with them. My bad. Anyways, um, let me move to that free ad. Anyway, I ha I hate how I hate how everyone was comparing it to the Halo show on how much better it was. When in reality, the Halo show was better for the sole reason it wasn't canon, didn't matter in the whole scheme. Yeah, kind of. I do feel that way. Anyways, let me fix the Anyways, so where I was going with the whole but what is Fallout is a political thing, and I'm gonna bring up Brave again. I'm gonna bring out the old. Similar to the video games, Fallout features socio-political commentary, and it was intended to challenge the idea of black and white morality. Ella Purnell criticizes, saying Fallout games are inherently political. It's not! Oh my gosh, it is not! For fuck's sake! Okay. Look, I don't. For the record, I don't have a problem with like female main characters in Fallout. I would like a main like a Fallout like protagonist that is implied heavily to be female rather than male. I would like that, but it is not. Fallout is not inherently political. It is not. It is not meant to be like that. It is. It is. Oh my gosh! It is not. Fallout is not quirky 1950s, but with modern socio-political commentary. It's so quirky. It's a dissertation on late-stage capitalism. Shut the fuck up. Oh my gosh. Fallout is a science fantasy where you are a humble peasant gathering water for your castle and fighting an evil wizard with orcs and mutant psychers, like with orcs and mages assembling in his evil cathedral. That is Fallout at its core is a wasteland fantasy. Your bow and arrow is a 10 mil pistol, or I guess in this case it would, like in some cases, preferably it would be a Colt Rangemaster or service rifle. And your steed, your loyal, trusty steed, happens to be a nuclear-powered car, a highwayman. Fallout 2 is no different. It is you are gathering a magic spell for your tribe and you're defeating a kingdom of black knights with demon faces who wish to genocide the world, who wish to like spread sickness across the world so they can take over. It just so happens to be that that tribe is post-apocalyptic raiders, and the demon-faced black knights are the CIA. Are literally the CIA, the Department of Defense, the U.S. Department of Defense. But and where you defeat the evil king and his minion, President Dick Richardson and Frank Horrigan. It is it is again the 50s stuff. Like, I like the 1950s aesthetic. I really like. And for what it's worth, I'm gonna defend Bethesda a little bit
The robots
because
have gotten pretty good
what
at
the
what
hell
they
is
do.
that? Fallout 3 followed this formula. It attempted to follow this formula. Um, in the way that in the in the way that Fallout 3 was at its core a fantasy, still a fantasy, where you find your mage of a father and settle the dividing agreement between two warring kingdoms over a barren land. That is what Fallout is. That is the politics of Fallout. It is, and it is that is at its core. It is a fantasy at its core. It is not a it is not a biting satire of 1950s capitalism. It is a fantasy. It is more closely associated. It just happens to be set in this sort of Mad Max style, like post-apocalyptic America. It is not. It was not meant to be. You were not supposed to focus entirely on the events of the pre-war, outside of the context of an outsider, of a wastelander, looking back at the past through the fractured documents that you don't have access to, or speaking to ghouls or people like Mr. House and robots on the state of the world before the war. It is like, and the pre-war sections of this show focus very heavily on it's a political drama. It's a political drama on right-wing capitalism and late stage and war. It's not. It's not. That is not Fallout. It is incomprehensible from the core ideal that is Fallout supposed to be. I know, not even Bethesda. Maybe I think they did lean in this direction for the lore of Fallout 76, especially since it takes place so close to the pre-war, but still. To be fair, Fallout New Vegas has a bit of politics, but it wasn't a reflection of modern at the time politics. It was generic and very in-gamey. Fallout politics, it's like discussing politics in Star Wars, alright? It's like discussing the politics of how we would say, it is at its core I'm trying to come up with another setting where this would be applicable. It's not that. It is not meant to be, again, I said it's not meant to be a biting satire of the 1950s. It is at its core a fantasy, and for what it's worth, Bethesda tried to do this, at least for Fallout 3. I have my issues with Fallout 3, but I feel like I like it a lot because it gave the Enclave nuance. And in honesty, I think at the end of the day, it wasn't all Bethesda buying Fallout wasn't all that it wasn't the worst thing in the world. It was only when it got worse did it get worse, in the sort that you're inevitably going to interplay. This is of course it didn't have the 50s aesthetic before. It was a Interplay's interpretation of Fallout was morally it just had some 1950s touches, as a reference to the sci-fi of the era. It was, at its core, it was a dystopian. It was not necessarily dystopian, but it was a dark and gritty, edgy science fantasy. It just happened to be set in elements where this could take place. And it didn't originally have that hardcore 1950s aesthetic. You could see this in Fallout 1 and 2. You could see this in Fallout Tactics. And for the most part, I think and as cool as it was standing on its own, it didn't have too strong of a series identity because there wasn't enough to tie it directly into something. There wasn't directly, and I do think the aesthetic choices of Bethesda linking it to the 50s and the Cold War and the effects of the Cold War is interesting. It was a good idea, and I liked that. I like the aesthetics, and I do think that like Interplay was floundering at the time. It wouldn't have I do think Bethesda's acquisition of Fallout was ultimately a good thing, and it didn't get spoiled until they really shit the bed with Fallout 4. When they just couldn't get a handle of what to do and what was going on. Original Fallout co-creator Tim Kaine says critique of capitalism was never the point of the games, and if anything, they're about how war is inevitable given basic human nature. Yeah, I do feel like Fallout New Vegas best encapsulates that. It's not necessarily because like I said, Fallout 1, 2, and 3 are ultimately science fantasies where again, you're a protagonist who ventures out in the world and does all this like for the kingdom, which is for your tribe. Fallout Tactics was like a sort of military strategy game, with like a sci-fi war game, and New Vegas, of course, heavily leaned into the Western. Fallout 4 couldn't tell what it was, couldn't tell itself what to be. Fallout 76 couldn't tell what itself to be, and certainly the Fallout TV show could not tell itself what to be. Like, it doesn't know what it is. And at its core, and just seeing and going into like, the politics of it, it is like again, I don't like the pre-war sections. A lot of the pre-war doesn't make sense. It is not an eternal world of the 1950s. It is like all of it, like it was aesthetics and art styles. It wasn't I just don't like their depiction of the pre-war. It wasn't an eternal 1950s. It just happened that the 50s aesthetics were in vogue at the time. But that's enough about. I feel like I'm ranting too much about that particular aspect because to be quite entirely. Let's go. Can I give out how shitty the humor was in the Fallout TV show? We'll get to that. We know how bad the script was. We'll get to that when we get to it. But I don't know, just like a little more touch, like one last touch on the hoo-ha-ha politics thing. I just utterly hate how the audacity of these fucking Hollywood writers from Amazon to depict like literal like stuck up academia pricks and like 1950s Hollywood champagne socialists as this sort of, we were secretly the good guys all along in all the pre-war sections. I just hate that. It's just like, it's so self-aggrandizing. Hollywood, like, I get it. Hollywood loves to portray itself as the good guy when they're absolutely like, I love movies. I love the mystique of Hollywood, but they are absolutely not the good guy. They are never the good guy. They're all monsters. Like, whether, like, and they have the gall to do that. And the irony of of this being an Amazon show, of being the biggest corporation in the world making a TV show, and then having the audacity to, like, the real life version of Vault-Tec is character assassinating the fictional version of Vault-Tec. Look, I know Vault-Tec is supposed to be comically evil in the games, and they are. Don't get me wrong, they are. They're, like, evil. They are evil. But they are so, like, it is everything about their depiction in the Fallout TV show is so over the top for shock value. It is, like, there isn't an understand, like, in Fallout, there's always a prescribed reason for the Vault experiments. Oh, another big tobacco, anti-big tobacco ad. I love big tobacco. But there's always a prescribed reason. There's always a prescribed reason why they do the Vault experiments. Why they why they do the Vault experiments, why, like, there's a purpose for everything. There isn't a purpose for half the shit that goes on that Vault-Tec does in the Fallout show. They heavily imply, like in this scene, they heavily imply Vault-Tec is the one who dropped the nukes. Well, again, it doesn't even make sense in universe because why would Vault-Tec drop the nukes if the vaults were unfinished? They would have. It's a corrupt organization, it's an evil organization, but they weren't like these all-encompassing masterminds behind the Great War, and I hate that theory. It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense in universe because, like, someone pointed out, I think it was Kretosis, because that's how I watched the Fallout TV show, was his review. He's a fellow VTuber, and he's a really big Fallout fan. He's the guy who... he's the guy who, like, I got my information about, like, directly... Like, he was the one who reviewed the show directly. Like, he gives hour-long reviews of the episodes. And he pointed out that, like, Vault-Tec doesn't have a reason to start the Great War. They have, like, it would be a profit incentive for them to keep, like, like, China and the U.S. or the Soviets and the U.S. on the side of the, like, it's China. It's China. Fuck. The show never mentions China once. In this show that so heavily features the pre-war and the like they only mention it once because Cooper Howard the Ghoul was like a US Marine Corps veteran during the Battle of Anchorage, I think. They only mentioned China once. Everything else was just like this big focus, like they bring the Soviet Union back. And when it was in Fallout 1, it was supposed to be like modern day Russia, where the Soviet Union still exists, but it's basically like this decrepit nation state that's basically a puppet of China. And they keep bringing up the Soviet Union or like communists here. Oh man, whatever. Vault-Tec doesn't have an incentive to start the Great War. It never had. It would have advocated brinkmanship so they could build more shelters, but having to actually use Vault-Tec shelters as like actual bomb shelters never fully factored into their plans. Like, they didn't expect the war to come this early. They just I just hate that theory. It is. I wonder why. I don't know if this was released in China. It might have been. I know, like, the irony of, like, so many Nexus mods having Chinese language versions when, like, you're playing in a world where China canonically started the Great... Like, China canonically nuked the world. I wonder, like, and... But yeah, about the depictions of evil in the show. And the depictions of the factions. I'm gonna go into the depictions of the factions. First off, I have fuck Vault-Tec in this show. They character assassinated my homie Robert Edwin House. I love that man, and they tarnished him. They tarnished his reputation. Fuck. They tarnished him. Frederick Sinclair. How do you do that? They made Frederick Sinclair this like ugly bastard, this like caricature of capitalism, and that's not what he is. That's not what any of these people are. It's not. That's not the word. They made Frederick Singer Yeah, I hate what they did to Mr. House. They did, like he's my favorite faction in New Vegas for a reason, because like I feel like he's heavily flawed. Yeah, the TV series Skeleton Mosaic. This is what he was shown as in Dead Money. How did they ruin Dead Money? Even more than it already is. It's actually also really Big MT. He did not own the Big MT. He was buying things from Big Mountain. He did not own the Big MT. The show creators don't even understand the lore that they're playing with. And then they have the fucking audacity, the gall to say that this is canon to the series. But yeah, I think going back to House. Oh, Hallowed. Best thing the Fallout show did was not include the Legion. I'm safe. Don't worry, Hallowed. I'm pretty sure the Brotherhood of Steel genocided the Legion on their way to California. Fuck. Anyways, so But yeah, the character assassination they did of House is just like one of the worst things. One of the worst things they did about the show. One of the worst things that they did about the show. Just utterly, utterly, utterly. Like, there's a reason why he's my favorite faction in New Vegas. Like, I have warmed to the NCR a little bit. Ironically, me liking the NCR more was a consequence of this show shitting on the NCR. Holy shit! Like, only the Fallout TV show could ruin an already Reddit tier faction. But whatever, I'm gonna get to that in the next part. Mr. House hated Vault-Tec. Like, I'm pretty sure it's heavily implied in Fallout New Vegas that House hated Vault-Tec. He didn't want Vault 21 to be built in New Vegas in Las Vegas. He didn't like he saw it as pointless. He saw the vaults as pointless. He didn't see the point. And like he might have been in communication with them, being like businesses communicating with each other as a consequence of like everything going on. But there is no reason for like this whole big like what they did with Sinclair, like Vault-Tec, and the underground meeting of like the Spectre James Bond type meeting of all the big greedy capitalists. It's not. Every company was out for itself in the Fallout show. Robco was in the process of buying General Atomics, and they already bought the Repcon. And like there's like and him saying, "Oh, there's a lot of profit to be made from the end of the world." Like they like
Music Premium.
shit. That like they they played 5 minutes of they watched a 5 minute video of New Vegas where they meet him, and they assume that's that. Like House didn't he didn't. It's not him. It's not. It's such an insult. I don't know. It's. How do I articulate this? It's not accurate to his personality. When he calculated that the Great War would happen, and he was off by a day. He's just all of his dialogue was it's based on a less than 5 minute understanding of the character. Ooh, he's big greedy Elon Musk caricature. Let's put him up. Let's put him up as this guy who wants the end of the world. And, anyways, ASMR, but you've been captured. No, look, Hallowed, that's not important. That's not important, alright? That's not important. Anyways, and speaking of character assassinations, is a lot of it is the Enclave. Now, the Enclave in the Fallout TV show, I'm gonna put away Brave for a second. The Enclave in the Fallout TV show, it's comically evil. It's like they're not even elaborated on, I don't think, as this U.S. government organization, as an intact remnant of the U.S. government. They're just portrayed as scientists killing puppies. Literally, the first scene of the Enclave is them putting puppies in a death chamber, and them experimenting on puppies. It's just they're comically evil for reasons. It is not you don't have to, they are literally kicking the dog. They are literally having the Enclave kick the dog. You could have them be this sinister organization. You don't do that. You don't do that. It is a caricature. The Fallout is, it can be funny. It can be funny. It can be humorous. It can be parodical even. It can parody things. It is not a caricature of all this. Enclave is done poorly by Bethesda in general. I would disagree. I honestly disagree, because I really liked Autumn's Enclave, and I thought they had a chance to be they weren't entirely the bad guys in Fallout 3. They were just you were supposed to kill them because fucking Todd Howard wants you to side with the Brotherhood. But at their core, it's only because President Eden, or the Eden AI, wants them to genocide people, is the only reason why any of it wants to. Autumn just wants to steal the purifier for himself so he can rebuild the U.S. government in the capital. He does like that, and I think that's perfectly understandable. I think that's perfectly reasonable. Like they're still doing some bad things, but at the end of the day, like I don't like yeah, I think the Fallout 2 Interplay Enclave is funny, and I think that can be interesting, like Frank Horrigan and like Sergeant Dornan. But I think like the whole let's genocide the world thing was really stupid. In all honesty, like, but at least they had a reason to do it. At least they had a reason to do it. I think the whole like the muty hate thing was kind of stupid because like they'd be more interested in experimenting on people and like taking the strengths from Wastelanders to incorporate into their own and that kind of thing. It's more the fact that they keep bringing them back. Yeah, and the Fallout show does this the most egregiously. They brought back the Enclave and then did nothing with it. They proved that the Enclave is still alive, and then they did nothing with it. It's just so fucking stupid. Anyways, uh, going into the Brotherhood, another faction. It is the Brotherhood here is fucking unrecognizable from any of the games, including 4. You'd think like because like 4 is what Bethesda wanted to do with the Brotherhood all along. It's not even accurate to 4. They make up so much shit about the Brotherhood, like in this show, like bringing them up as these villains, but they don't even understand the Brotherhood at their core, and it plays into like ooh like let's make this extra religious, let's make them priests, but let's also keep them like in this fucking high school setting where the recruits beat the shit out of each other, like this parody of a high school military setting. They genuinely don't understand. Okay, like I like the element of them recruiting Wastelanders, but then like but then I like the like I think that was a better idea, like having them recruit Wastelanders but like fully indoctrinate them into their cause is better than them being an insular organization where you have to be born in, you have to be like you need to be endorsed by a member to join. And the timeline mess, yeah, the timeline is just fucked. But going on about the Brotherhood, it's just like Maximus mentions. May I say that a lot of the names that they used for Brotherhood members, Titus, Maximus, that sort of thing. Thaddeus. These are Roman names. These are better used on the fucking Legion than on the Brotherhood. And I hear like a lot of. I heard a really stupid fan theory that this Brotherhood is is one that that recruited a lot of members of the Legion, and that's why like they have all the Roman names and they have more religious rituals, even though they still accept women and do like all that sort of thing. And they fight even more stupid than the fucking Legion. Why would you send in? Where's the combat armor? Why is the NCR the only members wearing combat armor? In the first game, like if you're a Brotherhood recruit, if you weren't wearing robes or like a special suit for wearing power armor, you were in combat, or you were in US Army combat armor. Why wasn't that shown in the show? Why are they sending in recruits with pistols to take on NCR infantry with light machine guns? It's so fucking stupid. Bruh. Yeah. It is like the Brotherhood, I don't like I could go on about the guns because I like guns. I like talking about guns, but I'm not gonna focus on that. I don't want to focus too much on that because for what it's worth, I think they weren't the worst thing about the show. There's obviously worse, so I'm not gonna like touch on that as much. But the Brotherhood, it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. You're supposed to have like there's supposed to be this insular organization where you build families within the organization. But fucking Maximus mentions offhandedly about like, ooh, he's so horny. But like Brotherhood Knights are supposed to be celibate. Since fucking when? Sarah Lyons is like Sarah Lyons is a paladin, and she's the daughter of Lyons from Fallout 3. It doesn't make sense for them to be all this like it is incongruous. Like it is largely incongruous, the depiction of like of the Brotherhood's discipline versus the Brotherhood's like in practice. And then the way they talk, I'm gonna pull up a clip from the show. I'm gonna pull up a clip from the show. All right, all right, okay. Yeah, the Yao Guai scene. This is what like I think this is the epitome of why like of how stupid it does the Brotherhood. Look what Brotherhood they claim that is. I hope this is fair use. This is just a clip. I'm only playing this as like as part of a clip. Hold on. Let me let me put up a text box. Where where's the text box? Text box. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Oh, text box. Where's the let me go summon that. Hold on. Where is that? Where is that? Text box, text box. I'm not used to having this much assets on my screen. Um, oh, he's been a PNG tuber for a while. He should have this figured out. I haven't, I haven't fully gotten the hang of everything. I don't even have a model yet. But yeah, here we go. Big old fair use. Anyways, so why is he like Chris Avalon pointed this out? Why is the recruit? Why is the squire carrying the fucking giant duffel bag full of ammo? It should be the Brotherhood Knight that like he should be in combat armor. And the Brotherhood Knight should be the one carrying the carrying the duffel bag. I feel like it's something that's become very popular in movies nowadays to make your show you make your own show and slap a well-known IP to it. Example, Fallout TV show Borderlands Acolyte. Yeah, it's like it's corporate fan fiction is what a lot of people call it. It's not accurate to the intention of the games. It's not accurate to the intention of the source material, but yet it still happens. Anyway, so I'll increase the volume on this. There's the fucking assault rifle from Fallout 4. Well, at least it's portrayed as like this medium machine gun. Why are they parking it right next to radioactive waste barrels? They should fucking see that.
They were here, a man and a dog.
How do you know?
Yes, they were.
How do you know? Fuck. Fuck. This is a fuck in real life. Fuck in real life. I choked on something. Hold on. Ah! Are we fucking follower? Hi Seismic and hi. We're talking Fallout Lore, but like just that stupid vocoder, that stupid like muffled. Oh, look, I'm gonna talk like a parody of a Warhammer 40K Space Marine. Shut the fuck up! Holy shit! I just hate the sound effects. It sounds so stupid. And I look. I get it's like a military organization, and like. Uh, okay, now you're drawing your pistol. At least like something I do like about the show, I don't think the costumes are that bad. I wanted Maximus should have been in combat armor for this scene, but I like the web gear and the like the tactical belt and everything. I think the costume design wasn't bad. In all honesty. Amazon killing Felix for using the clip IRL. It feels like both of them don't have training. Like both of them aren't trained in the use of their weapons the way they're carrying them. And in this scene, why are you going into a radioactive waste dump? Why doesn't he have a gas mask or something?
See if the target's in there.
My lord, I don't have armor.
They don't address from what I can remember of the Brotherhood, they don't address their superiors with my lord. They just say sir or something like that. It's not this culty. It's not like this.
You earn the suit through acts of bravery. This is an act of bravery.
That's like this is it's so fucking stupid. It's not that's You get the suit as a measure of combat prowess and how much you're needed in the field. It's not merely an act of bravery. You're promoted to knight on
My lord,
An order.
maybe I like a radioactive bath. I like your helmet, by the way, specifically how you wear it. Well, this is it's a past GT helmet. It's a real life NATO helmet, but I chose it for this because it looks like the combat helmet from Fallout New Vegas. I chose it. I chose. Speaking of combat armor, he should be wearing a helmet. But just like I remember Kratosis reviewing this scene because this is a really stupid scene.
See anything?
Why, like, one, the Brotherhood are like technomongers who want all the technology. Why doesn't he have a gas mask? Why doesn't he have night vision goggles? Why doesn't he have a fucking helmet? And two, why isn't the power armored soldier? Why isn't the knight going in for him? It just like this is all like I get that's the point. This just like it's so stupid. This elaborate hazing ritual just to get at like just to scare him. It doesn't make sense. And the Brotherhood,
Dipshit.
yeah, there we go. This is the line that I was looking for to complain about.
What's the problem, dipshit?
What's the matter, dipshit? That's not how the Brotherhood talks. They don't act like that. They have like high and mighty pretentious like it's not even consistent with Fallout 4. It's it like they're always like
Paladin dance.
it's
Want to have that talk now?
Does it have anything to do with the Brotherhood?
I wouldn't necessarily say that. This isn't a formal meeting. I simply want to clear the air.
this like they like it's not fully like hyper pretentious, but they have like that high and mighty air about them. They don't say, "Oh, what's the matter, dipshit? Go fuck yourself, you little fucking bitch." They don't say that. They might curse a little, but like, and it's just like the excessive. It's just yeah.
my lord,
Millions will die, possibly millions. Best part, how does a power armor get slammed to death when that's an airdrop set? Yeah, but just this is. And there's the go. I don't think I don't think the creatures are that bad. They do look kind of practical. I think they did use practical. That's not how guns work, but whatever. Why would you you have a gun? You have a holstered pistol. Last time I saw it. A power. Why does the power armor feel so bulky and unwieldy here, but like later on he's like, dog. That's not how the Brotherhood Knights fucking act. That's not what they do. I would understand if this is just like one guy, and maybe it is just one guy in the show. I know it's one guy in the show. But it's just so irrepresentative of what the Brotherhood is supposed to be. That like I like even like I know the Brotherhood doesn't get much fans because they're basically like a symbol of Bethesda now, and people don't like that. So like they mock the Brotherhood whenever possible. But I feel bad for anyone who genuinely likes the Brotherhood as a faction, and I think they're really interesting as a faction. Because this scene just ruins them. The scene just like the show just ruins the Brotherhood as a whole. It's not represented. It is not representative of any of the Brotherhoods in the game. It's so inconsistent within the show itself. It doesn't. Whatever. They wouldn't do this. They wouldn't do this. And like a power armored knight, like a 1v1 versus a Yao Guai, it would be an even match. Especially in the way the Fallout TV show portrays power armor, like or Fallout 4 portrays power armor, it would be an even match. Oh, you have another gun. I'm pretty sure. Just shoot him. Is he just dead now? That's not. It does. It's not even clear how he died. And like, it's not even clear how he got this injured. This is just a. It's just a parody of like. It feels like a hit piece against every Fallout faction. This show, and let me get. And you know, I've ranted about the Brotherhood enough. Let's talk about the NCR. Let's talk about the NCR. All right. Okay. He slipped. Consumer. Hi, Ben. Hi, Ben. Oh boy, we have 10 people now. Hello, everyone. But yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna probably gonna like look for uh we're gonna touch on the gulper later. But the ends you know, yes, it did, Juicehead. Yes, it fucking did. And I hate how they included the Ranger armor scene when cosplayers. I don't. And Omega is a good guy. I like Omega, and I like he does a lot of Fallout fan fictions. The way like I read a lot of Fallout fan fiction. I'm gonna be entirely clear. When I was like around the time of this show like was airing, like I was working for a long time on this Fallout fan fiction that I have on the side. Is probably the biggest like hobby that I have outside of VTubing is working on that like revised like Fallout fan fiction based on New Vegas. And Omega does a lot of his like a lot of similar work. He does good stuff. And he does he does lore analysis as well. When the time this Fallout when the Fallout show came out, I wondered like I was initially putting it off watching it to see like ooh it might poison the canon, like if it's too good I might take too much I might rip off too much of the Fallout TV show. I am glad to be using as little as possible from the Fallout TV show in the shit that I write in my fanfics. I am glad. I am glad to never like if it never even happened and I was completely independent of that. Nothing would have changed. Nothing would have changed. But going back to that, it is a Ranger though. If I've seen people say it's just a Raider wearing it wrong, but still, why do it and why not make him a Raider wearing it right? Oh, Seismic says honestly, oh, blunt trauma. Honestly, I wish that most of these video game to movie show or anime to IRL actors movie show would be produced and directed by an actual fan of the series, not some money grab company. That's why I like Nuka Break. That's why I like Nuka Break because it's like maybe like I might show it, I might not. This is just it's so good. This is my benchmark for Fallout fan content for like what a fall. Like I mentioned, I brought it up in this previous video in this previous stream that Nuka Break is ideally what the Fallout TV show should have been. It should have been Nuka Break on a higher budget. They should have consulted with Wayside Digital or like whoever was involved with this like and I'm sure they like might have watched it a couple times because they had a similar setup of characters but Nuka Break was good. I should go into the characters. I'm gonna go into the characters later. I'm gonna focus on the NCR. Full- whatever. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna. I'm probably not gonna get the Okay, for the uninitiated, there is a weird cult scene in Vault 24. Man, how I hate Vault 24. Fuck Vault 24. I hope a million mini nukes gets detonated in that fucking reactor room. Fuck Vault 24. Fuck them. Huh. Anyways, the one who made the game, I think I should have made the show and have it AB episodes of NCR death. The irony is that this made me like the NCR more because of how badly the NCR is treated across this TV show. They like we're like they are not like they're not depicted as this big super state that they should have been. This big like all-encompassing like they were the dominant country. Like okay, okay. For the uninitiated, in the events of the Fallout TV show, when the character is a little girl, when she's like just a girl, and like she was brought by your mother to fucking Shady Sands. Somehow they moved Shady Sands from the middle of the fucking desert near Vault 15 to the middle of like downtown LA. That's not how a Shady Sands works. I know they could have moved the capital, but it's just like it's not. Okay, okay. When I saw this scene when I saw when I saw this scene in the trailer, I thought it would be like this is a direct bomb impact from the Great War. No, no, this happened post-war because the Vault-Tec has fucking nuclear arsenals now. This is the Boneyard. This isn't Shady Sands. LA is the Boneyard. LA is the fucking Boneyard. It is not Shady Sands. They confuse the two. They never bring up the Boneyard, and it was ah.
It's Reclamation Day. It's what keeps us when people lived here after the war.
First Capital. Fuck up. It is not here. It is not in downtown LA. Fuck. Why does Vault-Tec have a nuclear arsenal? Why do they have and they blew up the NCR. Oh, the fall of Shady Sands. I just ah I hate this part of the show. Whoa, like it's like they treated the NCR so badly. Did it break Fallout canon? The fall of the NCR happened during the first battle of Hoover Dam, and when this got nuked, but they're gonna keep fighting in the Mojave. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't even align with the lore. It doesn't align with the timeline of New Vegas. Ah, fuck. And I'm so glad they don't get rads from this. Well, like, yeah, it's a dirty nuke. It directly impacted the ground. It still definitely would have been radioactive. The glowing sea, like, and they did. Fallout 4 even showed off the glowing sea because of the big nuclear impact in the show in the beginning of the game. Not this apparently, but it's just the NCR is meant to be a big super state of sorts. It is absorbing everything from Mexico, like parts of Mexico to Nevada to parts of Arizona. I'm pretty sure like the northernmost part of the NCR extends into Oregon. This is a legitimate that is probably the biggest empire within Fallout. And then they just nuke it, and then all of the infrastructure the NCR rebuilt and built on their own gone. It's just gone. There's no evidence of it. Everything is just everyone is living in pre-war shacks. And they take out the capital, and none of the NCR's massive army of and see, yeah, like none of these guys ever really showed up. They could they could field divisions. They had like I'm pretty sure it was implied they had motorized units, and like somehow they didn't retaliate. They didn't. They just fell apart. They just became cultists who retreated back into the vaults and became cultists who like covered themselves in cremated ashes and drank blood and had sex while doing all that. Fuck that. Holy shit. And they worship Kimball instead of Tandy. And although it is pretty funny from like a New Vegas standpoint because Kimball is just like this guy who's like easy to make fun of. Why wouldn't people in New Vegas be talking about this the nukes dropped before New Vegas? Yeah. But just the utter like because there are so many ways to portray the NCR, to portray the fall of a country like the NCR. It is like it just new, and there's so much more nuance to it than just nuking it. If you wanted the show to be political, why didn't you explore like some kind of NCR civil war occurring? Maybe the Enclave came back, in some sort, and they were fighting for their lives, but they're still like not just this like resistance movement, but they're actual like an actual country with an actual army fighting. I don't know, like maybe like again, my proposal would be like an NCR civil war and depicting the effects of that like the true definition of war never changes would be that like this is like that would be how to involve political themes in Fallout is depicting different political factions vying for control within a country and the effects and the after effects of that. Instead, they just nuke it and make the NCR like guerrillas. It is sick and shameful. And don't get me started on fucking Lee Moldaver. My like possibly the character that I hate the most in this show. Why did she survive the pre-war? Why is she like suddenly the queen of the NCR and like this big like girl boss of the resistance movement? Nothing is explained. Nothing is explained. Nothing. No reason is given. And the funniest part about the whole cold fusion arc, like and like oh, this is all about cold fusion. Cold fusion already exists. I'm pretty sure fusion cores are cold fusion. The Gek is required uses cold fusion. Oh, like everyone thought that the MacGuffin in the show would be a Gek. Like I guess they got it something similar. Todd helped make this mess. Yeah, that's the unfortunate part. Todd and Emil Pagliarulo. Oh, fucking Nate the Rake fame, Nate the Rake fame. But oh man, where do I go from here? I've ranted enough about I just like the biggest irony is like all of this made me like appreciate the NCR for what it was. Like I always thought they were kind of assholes in game. It was they were the Reddit faction. All the Redditors really liked them because oh we're spreading democracy and killing fascists. But like I like the NCR a lot more now. Like even though my favorite faction in New Vegas is Mr. House. I like the NCR a lot more simply because the TV show shat on them so badly and I did this as retaliation. And it just like warms my heart to see um oh, hold on. I should have Oh, I don't know who Seismic says. I don't know who Todd is, but they're on the wiki for Fallout. Tim King and Leonard Boyarsky are the creators of the IP. Yeah. Original two games. Todd made 3 and 4. Well, Emil Pagliarulo wrote 3 and 4. Bethesda bought the IP from the original guys. Yeah, that's true. But in general, okay, can I just say? Oh, shut up! I'm gonna drink. Can I just say like momentarily that Fallout Shelter wasn't all bad, and it was probably like yeah, it was like it was a commercialization of yeah, this is of Bethesda. It is too much of a commercialization of Fallout, but whatever. This is what got me into the series when I was a little kid, and that's how I got introduced to Fallout. Then it was Fallout 4 because I followed that for a while. But it wasn't until maybe 2022, 2023 that I gained this like newfound appreciation for the original IP, of the story of the Master, of the story of Fallout 1 and the original Enclave, of New Vegas. And New Vegas was like unraveling that and playing that was an experience. I've played Fallout Shelter, I've watched a lot of Fallout 4, I've played Fallout New Vegas, and I've played a little bit of Fallout 1. I played like I wouldn't consider myself fully a tourist. I wouldn't like if you're free to call me a tourist. It's just that like I am passionate about this IP. It is my fan. It is like besides VTubers, this is basically my fandom. Besides and Metal Gear, I like Metal Gear a lot. But it is I thought they were still working on the IP with Bethesda. That makes it more sense too, as why the IP where it is where it is for now for the show. Yeah, that's true. But overall, I'm gonna. I think I've ranted enough about like, but I would like again. I wouldn't fully consider myself a tourist. You're free to call me that because I've only been in this with for like I've been in the Fallout fandom for maybe 1.5 years, but I've been interested in it for a long time, and I'm glad I'm being able to experience it. Unfortunately, it's like my interest in it is peaking as the IP is making its downfall. It just has to be like that sometimes, I guess. But overall, so um, I had a lot more to talk about. Anyways, so hold on. I had some more to talk about. And like, oh yeah, the like was something I'm not working off a script. I'm just like I do have a list of talking points, but only now am I consulting it. Um, a lot of like the depiction of the regular wastelanders, a lot of the depictions of the I didn't necessarily like it. Like Ma June and the like and Ma June and like the sale and like the snake oil salesman and all that, like giving Thaddeus that special potion or whatever. I didn't like that depiction of him, and that's where like the writer influence from the boys really has. Like this originally my inspiration to do this. Like I've wanted to close the like do a follow up to my Fallout TV show trailer reaction for a long time, and me doing that why I don't like the boys rant is an explanation. Like it was a good springboard for this stream to happen, because overall, like I feel like this was like technically a part two to both why I don't like the boys and why I don't like the and why I don't like the and why I don't like the boys, and why, and like my reaction to several months ago to the Fallout TV show trailer, because Lumi from Face Connect did like tweeted about it. And overall, it really shines in this bad way. It shines in the worst way possible, that like this depiction of wastelanders like being this like, oh, the hateful towards the vault dweller. None of this is present in the game. There isn't like ever like there isn't like any, ooh, we hate the vaults because it's for the it's for the people who have money. That was never in the games. They saw them as oddities. But the NCR, especially NCR citizens, knowing that the NCR started from vaults, most of the people from the NCR came from vaults, so they wouldn't be like this in the first place. A lot of the Wastelanders wouldn't be like this in the first place. They just see like people who still come from vaults be like an odd sort of thing, but something interesting in the end. They wouldn't like, but like at this point, like they're used to it. Like Vault 21 dwellers in Fallout New Vegas have basically integrated into the wasteland very well, like Doc Mitchell and everything, and like Doc Mitchell specifically. But overall, it's just like like their depiction of like all of them being like, oh, they're suicidal, like, oh, they do weird things, oh, so they fuck chickens, like that one guy from that scene where Maximus confronts a guy after getting his power armor. Ooh, they fuck chickens. That's not cool. But anyways, I wanted to touch on the characters. Now, let me get this straight. I disagree with Ella Purnell on the ooh, Fallout is political. I think she's a dipshit for that. But besides that, I really like Ella Purnell. She's not. I really like. Like, I just called her a dipshit, I know. But that's just like for saying, ooh, Fallout is supposed to be for a little political. It's not. She doesn't. I like the actors. I even like, I think they're all very like, they have the capacity to be charismatic. From like a cinematic and filmmaking standpoint, I liked Ella Purnell. I think she's really pretty. I think she's really charming, and I think she really like. And for what it's worth, she's a really good actor. I liked Aaron Moten. I even liked Maximus. Aaron Moten, because he apparently he's a lot older. He's like in his late 30s, and but he plays like this teenage. He looks a lot younger than he is, and he plays this like sort of teenage recruit very well, I feel. And Walton Goggins is Walton Goggins. Like, he's a pretty big name, and I haven't seen him in too many movies. I know he was in Predators. I know he was in Ant-Man and the Wasp from Marvel. But like, and I think he's a great actor as well. I like Walton Goggins as Cooper Howard. Well, not as Cooper Howard, because I don't like the characters. I feel like these were great actors. As much as I hate this design, Fallout 4 design, the Ghoul seems like the only good character. Bro, I fucking hated the Ghoul. Fuck the Ghoul and fuck Cooper Howard. Because there's this scene where he kills a fellow Ghoul and then cannibalizes him. Oh yeah, it's a cannibal perk. It's just like the games, it's funny. It's shock value. It's shock value. This is someone's fetish. This is someone's vor fetish. The writers so obviously had a fucking vor fetish. There's Thaddeus getting eaten by the giant salamander. There's Cooper Howard, the Ghoul, eating another Ghoul and feeding Lucy part of it. There's ew. There's that scene from fucking Vault 24 of like, that fucking scene with the woman giving Predator birth and then getting eaten. I hate that scene. Fuck. I hate that scene in particular, and I can't. I wished I never knew that scene existed. Fuck. Writer's barely disguised fetish. I know, right? It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. There's the Enclave scientist. His leg gets eaten by the prosthetic leg because it's a meat grinder. Stop. That's not even how prosthetics in the Fallout show works. Oh my gosh. Ah. Oh my god. It doesn't work like that. The characters, like, Ella Purnell's Lucy, she can sell it very well. She just has I like the actors, and I think they do really well. But the problem is they are working with the worst script known to mankind. This isn't even just like a bad script for a Fallout game. This is a bad script for a TV show. You want to make my cock explode? Oh my gosh! Oh my god! That is the worst line I have ever seen. You know what? I'm gonna pull up the meme just for that. Just for that. Just for that. Okay? I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull up the meme that I made. Y'all like Class of '09? Y'all like Class of '09? Oh crap. I was gone. Y'all like Class of '09? This is let me move the text box, the chat box. This is what I think of. Like, as much as I like the actors and the actresses, this is what I ultimately get out of it. Fallout the Frontier. Like, my benchmark of like, ooh, man, is this show bad? I mean, it can't be as bad as the Frontier. It is as bad as the Frontier. It's even worse. It's even worse because at least it doesn't include war scenes. I am willing to put up more with the stupid communist storyline, the stupid NCR worship and Enclave hate, and the really stupid like the disgusting sex slave stuff in Fall of the Frontier. I am more willing to put up with Deathclaw sex than whatever happened in Vault 24. Oh my god. Yeah, it is. Hold on, let me fire up the playlist again. Is this and the playlist? Let's restart it. Anyways, shut up, Volvo. Anyways, so character wise, Lucy and Maximus did not have chemistry, despite like the Aaron Moten and Aaron Moten and Ella Purnell do a real, like, they try their best. They don't have chemistry. No, they don't. No, these characters, like, I get why they hated Maximus, but like overall, like I feel like, and he is a bad guy. He's a terrible person throughout the show. He keeps making like the worst decisions, and he's unapologetically like such a fucking asshole. But overall in the show, these two have no chemistry, and they force a like. I'm a sucker for boy meets girl romances. I'm a sucker for romance. I'm a Cupid. I like love stories. This is not a love story. They do not pull this off well at all. Stop me, like they try to make them have sex. Holy shit. Fuck. It is not. It is just the level of incompetence in the writers. Normal people don't talk like this. They don't. Ooh, my penis is like a zit. No. My god, shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Ah, I hate the dialogue. The dialogue is the worst part about this show, and that's even counting the lore. We want which is more. I mean, Frontier had pedophilia, so I don't care. This had vor by this had this had vor of the worst degree you've ever seen. Look, I get it. Like the Fall of the Frontier has bad shit, and I'm not defending it. I fucking hate the Fall of the Frontier. I think the part with America is discussing with the character, but nothing I feel compares to the shock value that this show had. This show tried to instill. But I've already ranted enough about like Cooper Howard and its glorification, like, and the show's glorification of like champagne socialist Hollywood. I don't like the Ghoul. I don't like the Ghoul. I think he's too like. I don't think he's cool. I don't like. I think he's the Ghoul. He does things for like absolutely no reason. He kills that guy and cannibalizes him. He sells Lucy into to get her organ traffickers. I think he's a piece of shit, and fuck him. Just fuck him. I didn't care about him. I thought the gun was cool. I thought the outfit was cool. I think his actor is cool. I don't like the character. I don't like the character. Like, yeah, he's like he can be badass and he can be cool, but I would have much preferred to like if you want to write a ghoul character, Fallout Nuka Break does it so much better with what's his name? What's his name? Let me pull up Nuka Break. Um, I'm trying to like, yeah, this character. I'm trying to remember his name. Fairy.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah. Ben the Ghoul from Nuka Break. Probably one of my favorite characters from this. And I'm going into characters. Part of the reason why I like Nuka Break is it's very character driven. It takes characters over theme, over suppose like the lore in Nuka Break is broken and it doesn't have a concrete grasp of like accurate new Fallout lore. But that being said, it is so accurate to the games compared to I guess especially compared to the TV show. Yeah, I'm gonna glaze Nuka Break because this is part of the reason why I love Fallout so much. Besides fucking Fallout Shelter and Fallout 4, this is the reason why what got me into Fallout. And I watched it recently again before playing New Vegas for the first time, and I loved it. I loved it. The set design is amazing, despite having such a low budget. The props design is amazing, and like the costume designs are amazing too. Like I'm glazing it. I'm glazing it, but I love it. But the characters are done so well. There you have like despite the Vault Dweller, who he's fat, who he's dumb, the Vault Dweller Twig is like he's supposed to be the comic relief. He's supposed to be this big dumb lumbering guy, but he has an actual character arc, and he's treated seriously as a protagonist. Yeah, he acts like kind of stupid a lot. He acts kind of dumb. He's dumb. He's not very smart, but he's selfless. He's a good person like at heart, and he's willing to break his to break the rules that he has in his mind in order to protect the people that he loves. And despite him not being the best warrior, he's still willing to throw himself into the line of fire to protect the people that he cares about. The Ghoul is done so well as this like eternal like I wish they explored the old age of ghouls a lot more, which is what I like about Raoul in Fallout New Vegas, because he's been here since the beginning of the war, and like it's not just like smooth skin but he's like he's been there since. He know, like, people who know what the origin of of everything was, and like who understands it. Anyways, I just like Walton Goggins. He was more like someone's OC. I would still want to see a live action Fallout One Ghoul. I've been thinking of doing a cosplay for one recently. Yeah, I see a lot of like photos regarding that. But like what it like the prop work and the costume, and compared to everything here, but like my criticisms going back into the lore, Lucy is like um the ghouls apparently in the TV show have to like drink this drug that prevents them from going feral. It's never elaborated on. It's never explained. It completely breaks the game lore, because there have been ghouls who have lasted, like extremely old ghouls who have never gone feral, like Jason Bright, who's already a glowing one, but he retains he's a little bit insane, but he's definitely not feral. Um, the show breaks that. I don't entirely like. I don't get the point of all of that. They just needed it for like a single episode plot point, and it was really stupid. Um, Maximus is supposed to be. He's supposed to be a scribe, but he's also supposed to be like mechanically inept. Now, from what my understanding, the Brotherhood is a pragmatic organization. Even if you have combat skills, if you're like at least some used to them as cannon fodder, they're gonna put you on the front lines as cannon fodder. If even like even if even if you're not good with like machinery and technology, you could always you could research medicine for them. You could like they were doing in Fallout 4, you could research plants. You could become a scientist for them, like botany or something, like researching drugs or something like that. You could even be like some sort of diplomat to help them, like if you're a wastelander and you came from the wasteland, you could help forge a better connection between them and the wasteland as a diplomat. None of these qualities are shown in Maximus, and quite frankly, I just don't like the idea of him being being aggressively mediocre and that he can't do anything right. It's just like it's a waste of the interesting characters of the characters of the Brotherhood of Steel and their depictions. And Lucy, again, I like her character overall, but she does just like she just does she says stupid shit, like she talks like a child sometimes, and if she's not a girl boss, she's not like an overbearing like Mary Sue, like in a lot of other TV shows and media. But she does get on my nerves because of mostly the really stupid dialogue and how she inexplicably knows things. I think it's like her character is probably the one that I hate the least, mostly because Ella Purnell carries as much as she can. She carries as much as she can, and that's why, despite me disagreeing on her being that of the nature of Fallout's politics. Well, again, maybe I am a simp. Maybe I am just like crushing on her a little, but I think she does carry the character. It's not bad. It's not. It wouldn't be as bad as it was if it wasn't for the dialogue. All right, I gotta go have fun ranting. Thanks, Hallowed. I really appreciate you having sticking around. But there is a scene that I like. I know that's gonna surprise a lot of people, because there is one scene that I like, and that's the bridge duel between the fiends who are it breaks the lore. I don't know why the fiends are in the boneyard, because it was supposed to be in New Vegas. Um, because I let
So,
me get the
you guys use pre-war technology to find and collect pre-war technology to make sure No one has pre-war technology?
I mean, yeah. Well, when you say it like that, I mean, yeah, it's weird.
It's not. This is not representative of a Brotherhood of Steel character. He should be at least he should be at least offended that like of their mockery of like of the codex and everything. But I think this was like overall this wasn't entirely a bad scene. Because like I like the music in the scene, I like the gun I like the gunplay. And this was the one scene that I will compliment.
No!
Okay, that part's stupid. Even wastelanders don't talk to each other like that. They just pass. Like if they were regular wastelanders, they would have just passed by. I get that like these two are being paranoid, but the raiders are the ones initiating conversation.
No,
Oh, shut
we're just
up.
gonna walk on by. That okay with you?
It's fine!
Give me your gun.
No.
Hey! We're walking towards you!
There's no one here but us and them. It's not safe. Give me your gun.
They said they're not armed.
They're lying.
You're lying.
Oh shit. Okay, like the dialogue isn't as bad in this scene because I feel like
Nothing over there.
Yeah, we're just being careful. You can come on through.
this is like
You're trying to fuck us!
The gun?
Okay,
it's
I think
okay.
we're all feeling some tension.
The lead up to this, and I don't like one of the things I don't like about Lucy is the overall this isn't how diplomatic characters act. This isn't how speech or charisma characters act in even in games, because like you're supposed to say something smart. You're not supposed to consult a rule book. Like Albert Cole, who was the Vault Dweller in Fallout 1, was who was the Vault Dweller in Fallout 1, was supposed to be like, oh, he has a natural knack for talking to people. Like the player character in Fallout 1. This isn't how they talk. This isn't how it's not representative of the games. This overly paranoid
A little stress.
this isn't yeah, this
Why
isn't
don't we all take a deep breath?
this isn't how whatever. It's not how they I was just praising the scene. I didn't think the dialogue would be this bad, but it is this bad.
Okay,
I do like the costumes for what it's
we're
worth.
gonna
I think
do this.
I think the costumes aren't bad.
And
Okay, the reason why I picked this scene is because I like the music. I liked the music. I'm still nitpicking a lot about this
raise
scene.
up our arms.
Notice that we don't have any weapons.
And neither do we!
This I get that like the show wants to portray this like, ooh, Fallout is a crazy violent world. Again, this isn't how Wastelanders talk to each other. This isn't how even raiders like conduct ambushes. This isn't how it works.
Either way, could we just give it a try?
Like, I'm just gonna skip to the part that I do like. I like the music. I like the music. That's why I picked this scene. I like the music, and that's because this music got like an earworm into my head. I think this whole setup of like the hands raised thing is really stupid. Normally they would have just walked on by and like without saying a word. They would just like maybe greeted each other, treated with suspicion. Maybe they wouldn't even said a word. But that kind of thing, you know? And then the draw, and I do like that. I do like this. The gunplay is kind of stupid at times, but I do like this scene. And it's like that quick. 22 should not hurt. He was shooting a 22 pistol at him. It shouldn't have like knocked him back. I don't think it should have knocked him back like that. Especially if the Brotherhood, like, if his undersuit, if his power armor undersuit had any padding. But I do like elements of that, and because combat encounters do feel like that a lot. It's just like point and shoot.
Why?
And I think
Fiends.
and I do think it's not explained why fiends are here and not in New Vegas, but whatever. And I do like her reaction is like still accurate for someone who is acclimating to the wasteland, who is acclimating to being like getting used to killing people and all that. And
You've been shot.
It's just a scratch. Happens all the time.
that is accurate to the games. It does you do get shot a fuck ton in the games. And like overall, I like the costumes. I like the visual design. Like visually, a lot of this wouldn't be bad if it wasn't coupled with some of the worst character development, like the worst lore and the worst dialogue ever known to a TV series. And it had so much potential. I really like the visuals. I think there's still that like odd color filter that they're using that they also use in The Boys. Like I get it, they're trying to make it look like Fallout, but it reminds me too much of The Boys, and these are the same people that worked on The Boys, so it's gonna have that result. Is chat
People who
broken?
eat people.
Or no, just no one's talking. No, they don't eat people. They do drugs. That's their thing. They do drugs. Not all of like I know Cook is a cannibal in New Vegas, but not all of them are supposed to be like that. But overall, I just like I didn't think like so much of the props from the show could have been salvaged. It could have been salvaged to do something else, like to do like a show that would be so much greater. I have my gripes. I like the like. Is there anything else that I need to cover? But yeah, we ran through a lot of my we ran through a lot of the talking points that I was going to. I'm a little bit surprised that I'm a little bit surprised that I went through this quickly. But overall, yeah, I feel like the show had potential if it was written by completely different people and fucking Todd and Emil didn't have any involvement in it. It could have been as good as a fan project. It could have been as good as it could have been as good as Nuka Break even, because if it wasn't for just like these god awful creative decisions. Oh, the three vaults. Let me talk about the three vaults. Okay. All of the vaults showcased within the Fallout TV show would have been prime targets for the Master's Army. For the Master's Army during the events of Fallout 1. Unity, the Master's Army. This would have been this would have they would have captured they would have captured the entire inhabitants of the three vaults, of Vault 4, I don't mean Vault 24, I meant Vault 4. Fuck. I don't know, I'm confusing it with something else, but just like Vault 4 is the one that I hate. Vault 4. But it's the Soviet satellite. They don't mention, they never actually they rarely ever mention the Soviet Union within the games itself. But all the vaults here were prime targets for the Unity. I don't like I don't like, okay, so going into the three vaults, I don't like Bud. I don't like hold on. I don't like the character of Bud Askins. I think like it's just the like it is the epitome of haha quirky 1950s. Which is not Fallout to say the least. It is like, and I think in honesty, the whole element of where of the where the vault were like of what is it? Of Vault 31 being Vault 31 as far as I'm aware, it's the one with the giant cryopods where you live in. Sorry, I'm in chat not engaging a meeting, but I'm listening. Thanks, Seismic. I really appreciate it. But it's like, to be clear, I didn't like, looking back, I didn't like the like the cryo freezing aspect of Fallout 4, where like you're a pre-war person who gets frozen in time like Captain America, then you wake up and it's like, and it's the end, and like it's after the end, it's you're post-war. I didn't like that element looking back on it. I think it restricts a lot of like in game in Fallout 4, it restricts a lot of the character you could build by making you a pre-war like Nate or Nora. You could like, it restricts a lot. It restricts your character a lot, and it restricts the roleplay potential that you have because you're basically set. You have a predefined character in Nate and Nora already. But I don't like it in the show because of just like they use it for plot conveniences. Like I think it's assumed that Moldaver, fucking Moldaver, which already sounds like Amata Amadavar from Fallout 3. Like, why would they reuse the name? But like, it's implied Moldaver froze herself. I think is like Hank McLean.
How long have these meal kits been in my fridge?
Hank McLean is implied to be the not implied, but he was also like a frozen guy in there, and like the whole like Bud's and the Bud's ass and the Bud Askins part, like it just ground my gears, and the whole vault subplot was just like really stupid in my opinion. I like Norm. I think he's an interesting character. I think Norm was an interesting character, and he wasn't all that bad because like he was like probably the least hated character. All of the people that watched him, I don't think he was that bad. But it was just the setup of everything else and the god-awful dialogue of the Vault Dwellers and everything else that accompanying it. Speaking of the vaults, it's just like the opening scene and like with like of the weddings and her getting like, look, I'm all for fan service. I'm all for fan service, but at least present an equal opportunity. You had that scene in the early episodes where in like I think it was episode 2 episode list yeah, the target no, in the present, so it was episode 1 where she's like, ooh, I want to get married, ooh, and then the meta and then the wedding and all that. It's just like it's and then like you could tell elements of this really was playing into this. Like this is the writer's fetish, especially of the scene where it's post-sex where the guy's completely naked but she's still in her wedding dress for some reason. It's just like, bro, really, like either sexualize both of them or sexualize neither of them. And honestly, given this show's depiction of sexuality, I would rather they sexualize neither of them. You know, it's like it's that element, but that's water under the bridge. I think like and their use of music, on the this is gonna poison my search results. Now it's like, yeah, I remember someone called. Hold on, let me retrieve the fair use. It wouldn't be as bad as it was. Like, and I think the set design does a lot. This isn't. Nah, I get to like sure they're trying to portray her as a pacifist, but the vault would have heavier weapons at this point. I don't like this. I don't like these elements. I don't like I get it. It is kind of like these slow motion bits where she's just watching everyone get slaughtered, and like all of this, it's you could tell like the writers of the boys played Fallout, and this is what they came up with. This is like instantly what they thought of. They didn't they wanted to slow it down and make it all like Tim Burton-y, gory, but it's also like upbeat music and upbeat music and all interested. And I don't know. How do I articulate this? It's they wanted to make that juxtaposition, and like maybe it's a creative decision that I just personally don't like, but I feel like this scene would have been treated a lot more seriously. A lot would have been taken like it should have been taken a lot more seriously with like if they had serious music, no 50s music, no jukebox. It was just like maybe it playing in the background while overpowering like industrial music, like the encounter music of Fallout New Vegas. And the encounter where you have to fight people comes up. And it come and like that would make for like in my opinion a better action scene. In my opinion a better action. It, it would have like and like I don't like it, this whole like you could tell like again you could tell again that that the boys the people who made the boys made this scene, and it does it work a little bit, maybe it's just but it's not it's it doesn't entirely work.
Get that jelly mold out of here!
That fucking line. The dialogue is aggressively bad. It just I don't again it would have been better if it was portrayed with a lot more seriousness than it was, like then especially with the lines and the dialogue, and like without the slow motion it would be just like Lucy slowing down, like maybe a hint of like if the scene was shorter and it evolved into her just like either taking action against the Raiders or running away and devolving into like a more serious soundtrack, it would have been a little bit better. All that makes way more sense now. Yeah, the people of the boys made this show, and that if you're wondering why so many of the creative decisions the writers made, because this is the same production team as the boys and Westworld apparently, which people say was like a really bad no, it wasn't the best and why is it depicting a nuke in the projector? Like it's like it likes to do like it's not the worst thing, you know, it's like things get a lot more gory later on, but you know what, whatever. That I think that's enough of that. But overall, like ooh, but the radio songs played during combat encounters. I feel like a lot if you want to have a full immersive experience in New Vegas, you would turn the radio off during like or the radio would either get like muted during combat encounters or it would either get muted during combat encounters or it would wants to speak like you would turn it off manually. At least that's what I do sometimes. But the show The Boys was good. Well, I haven't seen the latest season yet, but I enjoyed the first 3 seasons. I remember getting I remember people I don't want to let's not go there. The I like the previous rant stream to this was why I didn't like The Boys, and I like admittedly it wasn't it wasn't the best stream that I had, well, I did like have something bad happen on that day that I don't want to like fully recall. I explained it last stream what happened on that day, but whatever. That's enough of that. But I didn't like the boys, and I did a pretty big rant stream explaining it. But the problem was I couldn't fully articulate why I didn't like it. So I used Cody from All History Hub's video on the boys to explain it. I decided to take a different approach with this stream. With this stream. Because I'm a big Fallout nerd, I'm a big Fallout fan. I decided I'm not gonna need aids necessarily from other people to help me tell why I didn't like the show, and like just reading their wiki and elements of that would be enough to demonstrate why, just the glaring issues behind everything going on. And is there anything else? Nolan had played Fallout 3 very extensively and was very taken with the Fallout setting. Well, they found... Maybe I'm regretting defending Fallout 3, because Fallout 3 got us New Vegas, and I defend Fallout 3. It didn't have the smartest development cycle. I don't like a lot of what Emilio Pagliarulo did to write it, but I think it was written with genuine intent, and I think it continued the spirit of Fallout pretty well. Just it happened to be on the East Coast. And speaking of the East Coast, there was nothing preventing the Fallout TV show from being on the East Coast. This could have taken place in New York. This could have been taken place in New England. This could have taken place in the Midwest or so. Like in the eastern Midwest, like the Ohio River Valley, like Michigan maybe. There is nothing stopping them from setting Fallout there. But no, they had to overwrite so much of the original Interplay lore and basically ruin it. It was their method of shitting on you. And a lot of people feel like this really was meant to attack Fallout New Vegas fans, and like, because in that sense of the word, because it does break New Vegas lore. It breaks Fallout 1 lore. It breaks Fallout 2 lore. It breaks Bethesda's own lore. It's not even loyal to the games. It is like, okay, so one of the greatest game series of all time, and certain fans would not like it no matter what he did. But that's like, serve as a standalone way for newcomers unfamiliar or intimidated by video games, tailor-made for tourists. It is not like, I get like it got people to play the games, and that's, I guess, a little bit good. But there's people who like Doki Bird. I love Doki. I love Doki. I really like her. She had no experience with Fallout until she watched the show, and then now she was playing Fallout 76. It is not like it. The show is not a good impression. It is entirely irrepresentative of the series. It is not. It is possibly the worst introduction to a game series you could get, besides maybe Borderlands and Halo. It is the worst introduction to a game series you can get. You can get with it is irrepresentative. It is no connection to it has no real connection to the games in any of the way it conducts itself. Very opinionated with different views and values. Yeah, no shit. But fuck you, Emil. I think it's a fool's errand to try and figure out how to make people... You could listen to the fans! You could have fans make fan content. You could consult them. You could hire cosplayers. You could hire, like, people act out because this is their fantasy for free. It's like the 501st for Star Wars. You could hire those guys. They're basically the lore masters. They could be your consultants. There should be people on TV shows making sure that, like, the source material is, like, in fact, represented. Like, I get they're free to do that, but like there really should, like, for the sake of the shows, there should be someone like some kind of screenwriter who is brought in, who has advanced knowledge of the game, who's been a lifelong fan of the source material, in order to make sure they don't fuck up anything else. Overall, and it's just like, and yeah, the super duper Mar, and like there was nothing preventing them from setting it on the East Coast, yet it did. Yet it it was. Oh fuck, Lord of Rings of Power, fuck that. Oh, it's just like reception. I'm not, yeah, I fucking hated it. I just fucking hated it. And rich, deeply compelling storyline. It is theme powered. It is theme and aesthetic powered. It is not character powered. And I feel like a lot of the stuff I write is like the themes are interwoven as a demonstration of the character's actions and the way, and like
with the YouTube music app, you can start a radio station with up to 30 artists.
It is better off. It's better. Hold on, let me lower the volume. It is better. It is. How do I say this? Where was I? It is. Oh, at the end of the day, it's supposed to be character. It is supposed to be character powered. I feel like that's the best courses of most fiction. And what's more is, overall, the best derivative, like I said this in a tweet earlier today, the best derivative works and the best fan works are done out of a genuine respect and curiosity for the source material. Now, like, in my own fanfics, especially the stuff I write about Fallout, I change a lot, but I feel like maybe I'm just defending myself, maybe I'm a bit of a hypocrite, maybe I have a bit of hypocrisy going on, but overall, a lot of my changes, I feel, I want to expand the world of the game. I don't want to change it. I don't want to shit on pre-existing lore, and like the drastic pieces of lore that I do change are things that I find when they don't make sense, like the Legion genociding several tribes instead of absorbing them and enslaving them for extra manpower. Why doesn't the Legion set up and like enforce their own culture and civilization instead of just like going to towns and keeping towns the way they are? Why isn't Caesar more interested in nation building? Why isn't why did Mr. House select better tribes for the three families? Why did Mr. House recruit Vault 21 residents to help fix up the casinos and stuff like that? Why doesn't the NCR have like heavier infantry, like have a bigger military? Why doesn't the Legion have a bigger military? What happened to elements of the Brotherhood and the She after Fallout 2? That kind of thing. That's what I wanted to expand upon when I changed things from the original game to my interpretations of them. And overall, that's what I felt. I feel like that's the better way to make a derivative TV show styled work off of Fallout, off of things like that. And yeah, anyways, so it was going like with the themes, other intended theme, like character and plot should always come before theme. If you like, putting theme over everything else is at the worst pretentious and at the most propaganda. And overall, exploring America as a place of haves and have-nots, this was not present in the, I went over this in the beginning. This was not present. This is not a part, this was not present in the original 2 to 3 Fallout games. Fallout Brotherhood of Steel doesn't count. But viewer's privilege. It's not even how, it's not consistent within the games. And real life America, hardships of immigration. Oh my gosh. The Fallout Wiki is a bit self-righteous, and it is a bit like it can be political when it shouldn't be. And I think this is an example, and it's definitely an example with this. It's just one of the 4 protagonists be a woman. It is not whatever. I already touched on that. How people turn to religion in times of grief. It's not even like that religion isn't even presented coherently. It's not. It's just everything about this was just. I hate the show. I hate the show, and to be entirely clear, I do have friends I do have friends, online friends at least, who like the show. Now, I respect them for liking the show. I still consider them friends, and I still consider them people, you know? I still feel like they have good opinions to give on the state of Fallout, but overall, I can't comprehend why a loyal fan, like someone who has played, who is aware of New Vegas, who has played the original games extensively, why they would like it. It is total. It is an insult. It is it is an insult to the series. It is a directly targeted insult towards a side of the fan base that was critical of Bethesda's ideals regarding the future of the series, and they outlined it here. They outlined the future of the series here, and they said, if you have proclivities such as these, you are not welcome. You are no longer welcome. Well, you're still free to play the games, but you won't be taken seriously anymore. And that sort of thing, you know? It's this had so much potential, but everything doesn't just fall flat, it crashes and burns. And that's I've been bottling this up for a while. I've ranted about it a few times on Twitter, but I have been it does basically for what it's worth, the only things I liked about this show are the music and the visuals. I didn't think and I the acting wasn't so bad, but everything the good actors hobbled by the worst script of all time. There was nothing preventing them from doing things differently, and they decided instead to offend and I remember someone saying this is a psyop. This is it's like how I say Barbenheimer was a psyop, because everything about the 2 movies clicked in a way, everything about Barbie specifically clicked in a way that it was.
The robots have gotten pretty good at
Shut
what
up.
they do, but they can't give an item a human touch. On
It was how do I say this? It was a movie that should never have gotten this popular, simply because it appealed to 2 separate demographics that normally would hate each other and take that. Whatever. I'm rambling too much about fucking Barbie and Barbenheimer. Fallout, the Fallout TV show. It does feel like a psyop. It does feel like a psyop, and it doesn't. There's Sakana as Mr. House. It does genuinely feel like a psyop that I genuinely don't understand how loyal fans of the series could take this show seriously and regard it in any way a good thing. But yet, a lot of my favorite lore, my Fallout lore tubers, Rad King specifically, who's a big consultant on a lot of the stuff that I do and a lot of stuff that I look into. Visually, I think they nailed it, but otherwise, yeah. I like the visuals. I like the sets. I like behind the scenes and gallery. I like the sets. I didn't think the costumes were all that bad. I didn't like how they portrayed power armor. I didn't like I didn't like how they portray, but like I think a lot of the costumes and the set design was done really good. I like the set design. I like the Lucy's backpack. I think it was cute. I'm like they should have been in combat armor, but I liked it like the Brotherhood of Steel uniforms. And overall, the visuals weren't that bad. Fucking hell. You're gonna have to deal with that. You're gonna have to deal with that. But I love how fucking confused Aaron Motan looked. But overall, like visually and like artistically, it had so much potential. But everything else about it, themes, character, dialogue, scripting, it just doesn't work at all. And I genuinely don't know where the support comes from. I know there's a second and maybe a third season coming in where they're gonna shit on even more of the lore, and I am bracing like hell for that because if this was a crash and burn, well, this is a crash and burn, but the train is still going, and so like we're off the rails, but we're sliding off the cliff, and we haven't even reached the bottom yet. So I'm bracing for that. I am bracing for like whatever the hell comes out of that. Just so many elements are just a disgrace. And you know what? I think I'm ranting a little bit too much too far. I might end it here because I don't quite know how to end. I was gonna go on until like maybe 6:15. I was gonna go on about 6:15 because no one's come home yet and I can continue streaming. But in honesty, you know, we can make it a Zatsudan for a while. We can make it a Zatsudan. How are you doing, Seismic? How are you doing? If Thami and Seismic are still there, I would like to like, how are you guys doing? Because I had a bit of a rougher night. I did stay up until like the early morning. I stayed up until sunrise. I didn't get a nap until earlier on today. But I did get like, it's been funny because I've been bottling up all of this ranting for like maybe months. I didn't intend to do a stream on it until like a week ago. But I'm glad I got all of this out. In honesty, I am repeating myself a pretty. I decided to stop. I was repeating myself a little bit too often, but I feel like I've said all that needs to be said. All that needs to be said and done about this. But I guess maybe I am improvising a little bit too much. In a couple minutes, I'm gonna be at 6:13. In a couple minutes, I'm gonna look into yapping is a skill. I haven't fully developed it. I like to talk, but I haven't the thoughts come in a circle at some point. In honesty, like I had a lot of talking points, but I covered all of them really quickly. I sped through a lot of them. I sped through a lot of talking points. I didn't cover like the nitpicky stuff about like the guns and the power armor, but in the grand scheme of things, like the things I could nitpick about them aren't the things I could nitpick about them would seem a little bit too petty compared to the very glaring issues everything else has. At the very least, like I don't like what they did, what they showed, like how they portrayed power armor, like or a lot of them not having like not knowing how to use guns, a lot of the actors not knowing how to use guns. Where's the energy weapons? Like only one or two energy weapons or laser guns show up, even despite it being Fallout, where like this is the norm. But these are all like a lot of superficial things compared to the pile of shit that is, in honesty, the everything else that comes out of this. But overall, you know, I've said what needs to be said, and you know what, I'm gonna look for someone to raid this time. I'm gonna look for I'm gonna see if I can try and raid someone. Hold on, let me switch over to my other hold on, featured places, comments and ratings on. I'm literally looking. ability set automatically sent over to a video you have chosen in advance. Thumbnail. I'm going to the allow automatic places. Huh. I'm gonna do a manual raid. At least we have a conclusion to this. I was gonna react to like I thought of doing a reaction to my reaction, but it wasn't sufficient and it wasn't needed. I feel like it's not like it wasn't worth it at the end. So anyways, at the end of all this, I'm going to let's raid Twitchy. Let's raid Twitchy. It's 6:15. Oh, to love everyone. I really appreciate like it's probably the most attention I've gotten out of a stream, but I like to love everyone and thank you for tuning in. So I'll see you next time. I'm gonna be streaming on aiming for Monday and Wednesday again. I'm throwing out a lot of stuff in real life, but you know how things go. O2 love, guys. We're going to Twitchy. We're going manual wait for the win. All right, we're going to Twitchy. Let me post the link in chat, and then